Good morning. Here we are, 26th of Adar, Gadol Torah, greatest Torah, Shemevi Refuah, it brings healing, L'kol Chai, to all living things. Who needs a refuah?
Shmuel ben Devorah, Shmuel ben Merav, Hillel ben Hila, David Yehuda ben Yehudis Golda Basel Hana, Haim Yaakov Zed ben Sarah, Yosef Yosek ben Lior, Shoshana Bas Hana, Gary Roberts son of George, Yaakov Shaul ben Hana Miriam, Yehudi Gila Bas Raphalea.
Refuah Shlema Bekorev.
Amen.
Tuvia ben Avram, Taba Miriam Bas Chana Rachel, Yair ben Adela, Mordechai Yehuda ben Chana, Yisrael ben Yamin ben Leah Gittel, Devorah Leah Bas Rus Ahuva Liba, Rivka Mina Bas Chaya Esther. Refuah
And Shalom Dovber ben Rachel Bela.
Okay. Hayom Yom. Hayom Yom. Today. 26 Adar. With three instruments of service, Avos Hashem, love of God, Avos Torah, love of Torah, and Avos Yisrael. With these three instruments, Kli calls them Kli Shores, by the way. Kli Shores is the word in Hebrew for all the things, what I'm looking for, all the items that were in the Beis Hamikdash, the laver, everything that serves, Kli Shores, it's vessels for serving. So for serving God, we have three vessels: our love for God, our love of Israel, our love of Torah, and our love of Israel. So with these three things, these Kli Shores, vessels of service, so must young Torah scholars approach their work in the vineyard of the Lord of hosts. A vineyard is an interesting word because we're talking about, we talked Hanukkah, this comes up, Kosis Lamoyer, that the olive oil in that case is squeezed in order to illuminate. The grape, which is our mashal here, is squeezed to bring simcha, yayin, mesameach. So this is the vineyard in which the work is to bring out the vital, happy liquids which are inside the oil and the wine. So that's their work. This is their work in the vineyard of the Lord of hosts, using these three instruments: Avos Hashem, Avos Torah, and Avos Yisrael, to bring the hearts of our brothers closer to observing practical mitzvahs and to designating regular times for Torah study. They must do this, that's us, must do this without paying any attention to the affliction of factions. Right? Now, this amongst Torah scholars, this refers to the factions of what's the Shita. Is the Shita learning Gemara all day? What about the place of Musar and Chassidus? But there are also, of course, factions that we encounter every day of our life, political factions, communal factions. This one's against that one. Don't pay any attention to the factions. Just looking to see. Yeah. Any machloiches, anything that distances. Be totally engaged in that which brings kehila and knesses and gathering together. So the absolute truth is that the heart of a Jew is a wellspring, a source of living waters. And we are assured by a covenant, by the bris, that labor, working hard, and wide-ranging effort shall never be fruitless. If we work at hiskalalis, at bringing things together, and if we work at bringing forth the inner dimension of things, the wine that's inside each and every situation and each and every person, we will be successful. We won't be fruitless. We will be fruitful. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff over there. And very relevant to what we're learning here. Lessons in Tanya. Page 698. Excuse me, 498. 498. And over here in the Likutei Moharan, page opposite 94, page Memches, and we're counting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines up. The line begins Me'arba Oilemis, from 4 worlds. So what did we say yesterday? And the whole purpose of a Jew is to fulfill the whole purpose of creation, which is, somewhat surprisingly, if you, at least if you haven't learned what we've been learning, the whole purpose of creation and all the stuff of creation is to reveal the godliness which is buried in the stuff. There's our Yom Yom, to squeeze the grape, break through the klippa, soften it, dissolve the klippa, so that the wine, the life force, comes forth and springs forth. B'chol, now we'll start inside. B'chol nitzos, and every godly spark. We were speaking yesterday about the 600,000 times 600,000, this 600,000 squared of root neshamas that come down into this world. Each and every one of us having a chelik elaka mimal, a part of that all-inclusive reality up above, which is elakus, which is godliness. And every spark, each and every spark, la yored la'olam hazeh, did not come down to this world, af shehi riga doila, even though it's a very big descent, and there must be some purpose in it, right, for some great descent, for this soul to come down. But it didn't come down. It didn't come down to this to such great level, through such great levels, ubechinas galus mamish, and into this galus. Higam shiyat tzaddik gomer, because even if he will be a tzaddik gomer, let's say that somehow this descent is for the sake of improving you, right? That you could be a tzaddik gomer, Oived Hashem, one who serves Hashem, B'yira v'ava, with fear and love, with fear and love, and Rabba b'tanugim, in a great love. So this is not the purpose of your descent down here. The descent down here is not for the purpose of improving you and allowing you to have an environment and an experience or even a challenge that's going to lift your godly soul up to higher levels and improve your stature from Beinoni to Tzaddik. That's not the point of the descent down here below. Because if it were this for the sake of the soul, the godly soul itself, the godly soul coming down here can never reach. It's the total opposite, and can never reach the place and the level that it had up there, that level of Dechila v'Rechima, fear and love, before it came down to this physical world, as a gross achumni, this coarse world. There's nothing. This descent into this physical world is not going to help the soul to become a tzaddik gomer, because up there it could never get closer to Hashem than it was up there. Coming down here, we're getting distant from Hashem, and our distance from Hashem. What's the point then? Well, the point is it's not about us. The point is it's about what we can do to the world and with the world and with physicality. Because there's no comparison between those supernal levels that the soul comes from and a sense of unity and achdus that it has when it was first emanated from Hashem. And we learn in the Zohar that in the soul at its state of emanation, there's virtually no barrier, no membrane that separates the soul from God himself. There's nothing deeper than that, and there's no deeper connection than that. And there's no comparison. Kanei the L'kol, as is known to every L'kol Maskil, as it is known to everybody who's got any intelligence. Shehaguf Eina Yochel Lisbol Boy. When the soul is invested in the body, that becomes already a covering. It's an obfuscation, it's an obscuring of the connection that you had to Hashem before and with Hashem before you came down in the body. So then, what is the point? Well, the point, as I guess alluded to earlier, it's not about us. It's about the following. The descent of the soul into this world, to be enclosed in a body and an enlivening soul, is to fix them, is to fix the body and the nefesh hachiyunis and the enlivening soul. That's the whole purpose, bilvad. And to separate them from their untutored, so-called natural state of being separated from Elokus, and to take them away from that negativity and separation, which is called evil, and bring them, the body and the enlivening soul, to a state of revealed holiness. We are klishares. We're vessels, instruments of God's purpose, which is to bring a dwelling place and a revelation of Him specifically down here. So to have freedom to separate the body and soul from the ra shel sholish klippos, from the evil of the three unclean klippos, atameas, agidei shemiras, through what? Through the influence of the godly soul on the animal soul, that the animal soul, the animating powers of us, the enlivening powers of us, should Shmira Shesal should keep the 365 negative commandments behind Fehem and their branches. And to lift up the enlivening soul. With the portion of the planet, the earth, the environment that this particular, each and every one of our animal souls is placed in, here, over here, and this I'm in Crown Heights, here, there, I'm in this situation, you're in that situation, to elevate that, your chelik v'olam, your portion of the world. From all of, and each of every one of us, and back to yesterday, in each of every one of the 600,000 times 600,000 sparks, and more and more and more, sparking off all over the physical planet, is meant to elevate the klalos olam hazeh, the whole generality of the life of the divine life force, which is in the klippa of this world, and to take those forces which are embedded in the natural way, embedded in and covered over by some kind of klippa, and pierce that klippa, back to our yom, to squeeze the grape in the vineyard, and to reveal the godliness down here below. To unite them, to tie them to get to and unite them in the light of the Infinite One, blessed be He, which is drawn to them meaning the God, the nefesh, the body and the nefesh Yunus, the body and the enlivening soul. Through fulfilling the 248 positive mitzvahs, in the enlivened animal soul. So he, because it's the enlivening soul, the animal soul, which is actually doing the stuff. Hamakayim called mitzvahs, which is fulfilling the mitzvahs, maisius, the mitzvahs of deed, as we said above. And this is rooted in the teachings of the Arizal. Ki haneshama atzmai, the soul itself, right? Meaning the godly soul. The godly soul itself, ain't it tzricha tikkun klal, doesn't need any fixing. It's a chelek elokam mimal. It's a portion of God above. And it's not necessary for it to be enclosed in this world, rak, for only this purpose, lahamshich or to draw down the light of godliness, lesaknon, to fix the body and the nefesh hachiyunis. V'hu mamish dugma soid galut hashechina, which the beginning state before we fix it is the secret of the exile of the Shekhinah, and the purpose is to liberate and free it, which we call libara netzutzim, to rectify, break through, let the wine flow, and elevate the sparks in the animal soul and in the world. And there's Tanya. It's very interesting to me because I know a few people who have a certain, we're not religious, and but they have spiritual longing. Everybody does, but these few people have lots of spiritual longing, but it's mainly directed to their spiritual longing and satisfying their spiritual longing through various means. And of course, Hasidus and Yiddishkeit tells us, as we're just learning now, is to take that spirit which is within you and longs to be united with Hashem, to reach the ultimate state of being one with Hashem, which is to do what Hashem wants you to do, which is to rectify, purify, spring forth the redemption. Any other comments besides mine? All right, no questions, no comments? Therefore, we haven't done an explicit therefore what? What do we do with this? Ubechein.
Well, we're certainly doing it right now. We're doing the Torah study.
Yeah.
Part of it. A good way to day.
Yeah, and hopefully this study is, seeping through our hard skulls and brain and inspiring us, hopefully, to know that when I get off this call, the next thing that happens is what I've been created to get involved in, right? And when you shut down this phone and wherever you're doing, going to daven, dealing with a child, going off to work, watering a plant, whatever you're doing, it's all about bringing out the kedusha in every scene of the film of your life.
Thank you.
All right, thank the Alter Rebbe. This is sets us straight every morning. Okay, guys, we'll see you in Mirza Hashem. Elisheva, you want to say something?
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say
cool. Thank you.
I also want to say a general thank you that you're dependable and reliable to be there every morning. Even though sometimes I'm distracted with the kids and this and that, I know that Tanya lesson's going on and I could tune in.
That's nice. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.